Hey, Outsiders, this is Captain Yeet here for you for the Young Justice Outsiders Season 3 episode review. This is going to be Young Justice Outsiders Season 3 episode 21 titled Unknown Factors. So, let's get into it. The beginning of the episode starts off with Black Lightning and Nightwing and they're trying to sneak into Granny Goodson's house. Now, at first, Black Lightning is a little confused what they're doing here. I think they're supposed to be just doing some recon at first, but Nightwing wants to actually go into her house and she has, well, not see, he has a mother box. Now, this mother box is the same one from last week's episode from Dreamweaver. He said that, well, she never came back to pick it up, so I'm just using it here. And I just asked the mother box to see if there's any apocalyptic tech inside of her house, and it is. So he wants to go inside. Black Lightning is like, what? Whoa, whoa, we can't go inside of there without probable cause. Now, Nightwing, at first I was thinking, I mean, that's just camp, but he does have actually a really good point. He goes, like I just said, this mother box just pinged off some apocalyptic tech inside of the house, and from the public view and from our view, technically, she's not a bad guy with Darkseid, so she has really dangerous apocalyptic tech. She might hurt herself. We should go inside. That's probable cause. Technically, yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good excuse to get up in there. There was this one funny line that Oracle, she's helping them out, like, hacking the cameras and everything like that. And she's talking to Nightwing. Now, she says, after I take down the camera, like the security system, it's playtime. Nightwing tries to be a little flirty. He goes, after this mission, it's playtime. And he says it out loud. He doesn't just text it in like the little, like, what is it called? The context things. And Black Lightning goes, what? Oh, I mean, after this mission, we should go see a play or a movie. He goes, yeah, just focus on the mission, man. Anyway, while they're sneaking in, Oracle's thinking to herself, this is way too easy. Even Black Lightning says, yeah, this is way too easy. There's no way we can get inside of here this easy. Nightwing even says himself that, yeah, I do kind of see that it is kind of easy to get inside of here, but hey, if anything goes wrong, we have a mother box so we can just easily boom tube out. Now, when they get inside, there's like this weird machine face that's inside of Granny Goodson's house. It detects something and it makes the signal get lost on Oracle's side so she can't see what Nightwing is seeing. And it opens up a boom tube right under Nightwing and Black Lightning. They go through it and then we get the title card. After the title card, we go over to Atlantis and we see Aqualad and his boy. Yeah. What's his name? I think it was Wave or Wind. But I forgot it now. I can say his boy. So Uncle Lad and his boy are chilling, watching that girl from last week's episode adjust to Atlantean life. Uncle Lad just starts to chalk it up to Atlantis is a really beautiful place to live and it's easy to get accustomed to it. But his boy says that don't sell yourself short. You helped her out to get this comfortable here, so you did a really good thing bringing her here so she can live among us. And then he gets a call. Well, not a call, but like a little text messages from Oracle saying, "Hey, it's been 24 hours since Nightwing and Black Lightning disappeared. I need your help to rescue them." He goes, look, I'm part of the Justice League. I can't be doing these kind of missions just willy nilly. Is there anybody else? She goes, no. Batman is doing his own thing with Robin right now. Wonder Woman's off world. McGann is leading her team off on some other mission. So you're the only person I can come to. You have to help. It's been 24 hours since Nightwing and Black Lightning's been missing. I was thinking, why don't you just call the Outsiders? I mean, technically, I guess you could because they are like outside the Justice League. But as we see when we go over to the hub, they're kind of split up right now. So I guess there wouldn't be enough people to go there. Plus, this is a kind of a dangerous mission with Granny Goodness and whatever type of apocalyptic tech he has. So you want to send like a veteran there to go. So obviously Aqualad's like, all right, I guess I'll go. Tells his boy that he has to leave. Now his boy says, hey, I've never seen a surface world. I might as well just go with you on this mission. Aqualad says, I don't want your first time on the surface world to be dangerous, but he says he never actually quit the magic school that they have at Atlantis, so he can wipe the floor with Aqualad any day. He smiles, he goes, okay, let's get it moving. Then we go over to Duncan and Bumblebee, and I'll never forget my first time watching season 3 and 4. I kept confusing Bumblebee and Rocket like crazy. I don't know why, but I kept getting confused every time either one of them would pop up. So in this moment, at first, I thought this was Rocket talking to her, to her man, but no, this is Bumblebee. This is Bumblebee. I feel so dumb now because I thought it was Rocket at first. Anyway, Rocket and Duncan are talking, and while they're talking, he says that he got tested for the metagene, which is crazy, but the metagene has been such a really big thing ever since season 2. There probably would be some clinics out there that can test you if you have it or not. Anyway, while they're talking, like I said, he said that he tested himself to see if he has the medic gene. He said he doesn't have the medic gene. Also, while they're talking, they don't know if the baby is going to be a boy or girl because Rocket, I mean, not Rocket, I did it again. Bumblebee's pregnant. So every now and again while they're talking, and when they specifically mention the baby, Duncan, he'll be like, our beautiful baby girl. And then Rocket, I just, I'm sorry, Bumblebee, sorry. Bumblebee will be like, or our beautiful baby boy. So they're going back and forth on that. Anyway, he says, he's not like disappointed he doesn't have a Medellin, and neither does C. I think in the comics, that's like her actual power to use the stingers and also to shrink big and small. But I guess in this world, in this universe, it's only the suit that makes you go big and small. But yeah, neither of them have powers, but they kind of, well, they're not disappointed that the kid isn't going to be a meta kid because they've been, what did they say? They said they've been babysitting some of the other meta kids like crazy. So if it was a meta kid, they'll know how to handle it. But hey, meta or not meta, they're gonna love the kid either way. Like it doesn't matter if they're meta or not meta. It would have been kind of unique and exciting to have a meta kid, but hey, I guess it's whatever. And part of me was thinking, I mean, you don't have to be a meta person to have a meta kid, right? Because Brion's mom and dad, both of them don't have a meta. Well, everybody has a medic gene from season two. They said every human has one, but even if you awaken it, it's not a guarantee you get a power. Like, because some people, when you awaken it, you get a power, like Brion. Other people, you awaken it, nothing happens. It's not guarantee you get a power, even if you do awaken the medic gene. But still, you can have two. Well, since that's the case, that means you can have two regular parents like Bumblebee and Duncan, and then that kid could awaken their meta gene. Like you don't have to have a power. Probably if you do have a power, if one parent does or both parents, it's probably a more likelihood. It's probably a better chance of you awakening it. But you don't have to have it. But while they're talking, her water breaks. Her water just breaks casually while they're talking and driving, so they have to rush to the hospital. After that happens, we go over to the hub, and Victor is talking to his dad. And I told myself I would, Okay, his name is Silas, Victor dad. So Victor is talking to Silas, and basically he said, well, Victor apologizes for everything that he's been doing. His dad says that we have a fresh new start. I love you, son. They hug, and he's about to leave through the boom tube. It still would have been kind of nice if he apologized for everything he was doing to Victor before he became Cyborg. He doesn't, adopt the Cyborg name right now, but everything because beforehand he was neglecting him, not talking to him, missing his games, talking about how his work is important. He was treating him pretty badly. And based on how Victor was talking, he'd been doing this for the past couple years since he was born. He'd been doing this for a long time before we saw what was going on in that one episode. So yeah, that was pretty sad. I wish he would apologize for all of that. But he's about to leave, and before he does, that's when Beast Boy and Brion walk in, and Beast Boy kind of sprained his wrist because they went to go they went to go fight this dude called Condiment Man. He like condiments like ketchup, mustard, and stuff in a restaurant, and he slipped on some like barbecue, ketchup, mustard, a bunch of these condiments, and he like hurt his wrist pretty badly. And Brion thinks that junk was so funny fighting a dude called Condiment Man. This is pretty funny. I think that's an actual Batman villain in the comics. Obviously, not a well-known Batman villain. You're not gonna see him in any movies anytime soon, unless they want to be funny. But yeah, when there's like a villain table, like the Joker, Leatherface, Two Face, wait, Leatherface. I said Killer Croc. I meant Killer Croc, Joker, Penguin. All the big names. He's not sitting at the table. He's not sitting at the table. But anyway, yeah, he is a Batman villain. Violet, she comes down the stairs saying that there's some really good news. We are outsiders are trending like crazy, and she shows her the Beast Boy embryon. Brion says thank you, but he doesn't really want to talk to her right now because what Gabrielle did, so he keeps it moving. If Silas says, "My goodness, is it like this every day?" Yeah, yeah, just about every day. Then Violet and Dr. Jace both sit down to couch, and Violet feels really sad because, she's on a ticking clock right now. She could die just about in a few months, and Brianna still doesn't want to talk to her. What is he going to do? Maybe she should just go ahead and tell him that she is sick. Now, not Stylist, Dr. Chase says, I'm talking to my mentor right now. He's going to text me later tonight. When he does, hopefully he has some good news. So before you worry, Brianna, about you dying, let's see if we can cure you first, okay? Violet says, "Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good idea." We go back over to Aqualad, and he's right outside of Granny Goodness' house, and it's really funny because they're hiding behind that same tree Nightwing and Black Lightning was, and it's also funny because his boy, he can't really get used to breathing. This is his first time on the surface world, so he has to breathe regularly. So he's like huffing and puffing. He goes, "Geez, how do you how do you do this? I don't think I can get used to this." That's pretty funny. So Oracle, she says, "I'm gonna cause a distraction to get Granny Goodness out of the house," but Aqualad says, "No, there's no need." He just knocks on the front door, introduces himself and his boy. May he come in? So that's what he do. As soon as they come in, she loses the signal, and she says this is not going to happen again. So she's gonna call in a favor. After that happens, Granny says, "Okay, let's just let's just cut right to the chase. Why are you two here? Like, let's not beat around the bush. We know you know I'm a bad guy and everything. Look, what's going on?" And here's the scene I was talking about. This happened at the beginning of the episode, but I didn't get a good shot of it until now. She has some sort of mechanical robot thing that can like detect apocalyptic tech, also detect mother boxes. It can also detect a little bug spyware that Oracle has that's trying to spy on her, but it like dings and then the signal gets lost again. So Oracle gets pretty mad about that. And so obviously we want to know about our two friends. Then we cut away to Bumblebee and she's having her baby. We do get this one funny scene where while she's pushing and screaming, Mal, he goes, "Come on, baby. If you hurry up a little bit, you can have our baby on Martin Luther King's birthday, or at least his holiday." She goes, "What? Are you really asking me to hurry up with having a baby? No, no, just giving a suggestion." But eventually she pushes it in, boom. It's a beautiful baby girl. I forget the name they gave the baby girl. I'm gonna look it up before the episode ends. I really am. I know I forget sometimes. I really am, but it's a beautiful baby girl. But there's something wrong with the baby. And so the doctors have to take it to the side because something's going on. And obviously Bumblebee and Mal, they're kind of worried. I don't really like Mal's new design. I mean, I don't, because he had hair as a teenager. I mean, obviously they're grown. Well, no, they're like mid 20s, late 20s. They're not like that old, but he's like completely bald now, and he has like full on beard. I mean, when you hear him talk, you know that's Mal. But I don't know. I just like his old look, and I wonder if he still is like doing hero work with her as Guardian. I mean, I know he was only really Guardian in that one episode fighting the alien gladiator. Well, no, no, no. Actually, even after that, he was still wearing the Guardian outfit, helping out fight the Battle World and everything. So yeah, yeah. I wonder if he does still do hero work as Guardian. I hope so. He's still pretty buff. He's still pretty buff. So we go over to after that happens, we go over to Beast Boy, and I was thinking Beast Boy. I mean, I know he's not like do super duper durable, but I didn't think he'll sprain his wrist like that. That kind of surprised me. But we go over to Beast Boy and Cyborg in the gym. Cyborg is talking to Beast Boy, which is kind of ironic because he says that I'm finally starting to accept my machinery on my body. McGann says I'm going through the 5 stages of grief and I'm on the last stage of acceptance. And I said that's kind of ironic because Beast Boy's going to have to take some pointers from that for next season. Not going to say why, just in case, but he's going to have to take some pointers for that for next season. So after he turns his hand into a gun, he said he was able to do that because of the help of Blue Beetle. Beast Boy has an idea. He goes, "Try this." So he goes over to the weights and he puts the weights on like the max, or like right below the max, and he tells Cyborg to pump it. He goes, "There's no way I can do this. Just pump it. Just try it." So he grabs the bar and he's actually struggling for a little bit, but then you see his arms start to glow, and then boom, he pumps it so hard, all of the weights fly up and and bust through the ceiling. They literally bust through the ceiling. Look at that. That is crazy. I don't know who was upstairs. Hopefully that didn't hit nobody. And then, it's gonna come back down. It's gonna come back down eventually. Hopefully it comes right back down in the exact same spot. 'Cause that would be bad. That would be so so bad. So then we go back over to we're not back over to, but we go over to Brion and he's chilling on the roof and he's looking at a picture of him and Violet when they were going out for Halloween as the skeletons. And then the elevator door opens and it's Dr. Chase. Dr. Chase, Basically, she just kind of says the same thing that they mentioned a few episodes ago about how the outsiders are trending like crazy. Everybody can see your great heroic work online, especially the people in Markovia. This could be your ticket to go back to Markovia. She also says that Brianna will probably respond to his fans, especially the ones in Markovia, and also just to open up to Violet the next time she talks to him. Which I guess so. I mean, I don't know how long it's been between last week's episode and the episode before that. I'm assuming like a week or so. I know they sold like the dates and everything on the side, but I didn't like count it out like a week or so. But I think it's been like a few weeks since he found out that Gabrielle did what she did. Then we go back over to the hospital and we find out that the problem with the baby is that it has a small hole in its heart. So Bumblebee is going to put her Bumblebee suit on, shrink down, and fix the hole in the heart inside the body. Now Mal doesn't want her to do this because she just had a baby. She shouldn't be putting the suit on, shrinking up and down. She should just take some rest. He wants to wait for the doctor to come in, specifically the surgeon. Now, Bumblebee says that the roads are filled with ice and snow. This is a regular doctor, so he can't just fly over here. So there's not going to be enough time to wait for him. I need to do this, which is I'm like, I can see both points. I mean, yeah, the road. I mean, we did see when they were driving beforehand, we did see like a ton of snow falling down. Even when we pan over to the hospital, it's still snowing like crazy. So yeah, the doctor probably won't come in soon. I don't know why they don't have like a regular surgeon already in the hospital. You get what I'm saying? I mean, unless it's like, well, no, I was gonna say after hours, but I mean they came here to have a baby, and no, hospitals are 24/7, right? Yeah, yeah, the hospitals are 24/7. I mean, I guess a doctor can't stay here all day or a surgeon, but they should at least have one surgeon in the hospital at all times. But the assistant doctor or the nurse that's inside the room right now, she said that she helped out in doing plenty of heart surgeries. She never done it herself. She just helps them out, but still, she's gonna help out. And like I said, Bumblebee is kind of the only person right here at the moment that could help their own daughter. So I mean, yeah, because they're gonna have to do this. So Bumblebee shrinks down, goes inside the syringe, goes inside of her daughter, and you do actually see like the tiny little hole inside the baby's heart. It's not like super graphic or anything. You just see like a hole and like the beating heart. But she sees it, and the doctor's gonna walk her through on exactly what to do to fix the hole. And then we cut over to the next scene. But yeah, that's pretty intense. I know that, man. Yeah, that's crazy. She just had a baby and now she got to shrink and do all this stuff. I mean, she has to do it, because there's no time to waste. But still, it's pretty crazy. So after that happens, we go over to Granny Goodness with Blue. I almost said Blue Beetle with Aqualad and his boy. Now, she doesn't exactly break down how she made this, but remember like 4 or 5 episodes ago when Superman, Wonder Woman, and Hawkgirl were fighting the Furies, and Granny Goodness activated that machine, and that machine could pulsate this yellow energy with the black balls, and that yellow energy was so strong, it was strong enough to put Superman on his knees. Now, he was strong enough to fly out of the yellow energy like little balls he made, but it was still making Superman huff and puff. That's how strong that energy was. She's able to make her own realm of this yellow energy, and she stuck Nightwing and Black Lightning in this realm, and they've been stuck in this yellow energy for a whole day, 24 hours. This energy that was able to make Superman fall to his knees, they've been stuck in here for a whole day. That's kind of wild. That's kind of impressive too. They can, well, they don't withstand it because they are like screaming in pain and stuff. But still, the fact that they didn't like destroy them is kind of crazy. So all the wailing in pain, you can hear Granny Goodness' voice just booming and pulsating throughout this like little sub realm that she was able to make. That just keeps saying that you will serve Darkseid, so we are Darkseid's will. You just constantly hear that, and the only way that Granny Goodness, Aqualad, and his boy unaffected is because when they go inside, yeah, we don't specifically see how they go inside. We just kind of see them already here. When they go inside of there, is that inside like this red cube that's like blocking like the energy and stuff from hurting them. So she says that these naughty boys are to break into my house, and they did break into my house, and these are the consequences. She thinks that they had enough punishment for today. She can go ahead and take your friends. And all you have to do is walk past the cube. I would have been like, what? If you don't bring this cube right next to them, like, she's trying to be funny, but she doesn't do that. So Uncle Ed and his boy have to swim over to them. Now, they can use their Atlantean, Atlantean, that's the word. Yeah, they can use their Atlantean magic, like, the little tattoos on their body to not fully withstand the pain when they go inside the energy, but it does nullify a tiny bit to where they can swim through it. But they can still feel it. Or they're like, ah, this helps, but it still hurts pretty bad. But they grab Black Lightning, they grab Nightwing, and swim back over to the box, and the box comes out of the realm. Now, when they swim back over to the box, Aqualad's boy sees the mother box and grabs it too. Now, when they're about to walk out of the house, Granny goes, wait a second. I said you could take your friends. I didn't say you could take the mother box. They both look at it and they go, well, the mother box is a living, well, not breathing, but it's a living being, so we're taking it. That wasn't part of the deal. I guess I'm going to have to discipline you too, like I did your friends. Then Lightning and Nightwing both stand up because at first they were like had to be held by Aqualad and his boy. They both stand up, right? They turn around and they're about to fight them. They're brainwashed. This is bad. So now they have to fight their friends. We go back over to Bluebee. We go back over to Bumblebee. I want to say everybody's name but Bumblebee. We go back over to Bumblebee and she was able to patch up the hole in her daughter's heart. The doctor had like a video feed that she can see right through the mask that Bumblebee is wearing, and she can also talk to her through the mask. She said that her blood pressure is stable, her heart is beating normally. You did it. You were able to patch up your daughter. It's kind of confusing because it looks like a band-aid. It doesn't look like stitches. I would assume you would have to like use stitches so it can fully heal. I'm assuming this is also gonna fully heal the hole in her heart, but I was just assuming I'll see stitches, but it's like a band-aid thingy. I mean, not an actual band-aid, but you guys get what I'm saying. So Bumblebee tells the doctor that I need a few minutes to rest before I can make myself go big again. So before you come and get me, in the syringe, I need a few minutes to rest. I'm turning off the video feed. She goes, okay, I mean, I can give you a few minutes to rest, but why are you turning off the video feed? And she just turns it off. And then she starts to cry. And she starts to think about doing what's best for her daughter. So she had like a speech she gave, I guess, a little while ago. So while she's doing what she's doing, in the background, we hear the speech that she's giving. Basically, she made this, what's the word? Liquid. She made this liquid that can help people or kids. Well, I guess both, I guess, people or kids, and it's gonna give them enhanced strength and stamina and speed. Now, she's not saying anything like Superboy or anything, but it can help them. And while she's saying this, while we hear like the speech that she gave earlier, we see her putting that liquid on the DNA of her daughter. Like she's shrunk down so small, she's able to go through her DNA strands and put it all over her daughter. Which is like, what? That is jacked up. I mean, you guys were just saying in the car. I mean, if you have two normal people, they can still have a meta gene kid. Even if still, if they don't become a meta, you and Mao just said you're gonna love them with all your heart, meta or no meta. So why are you doing this? It even makes it even more jacked up that she's doing this without even telling Mao. Even later on in the episode, Mao was like, "Hey, you was shrunk down for a while. What were you doing?" And she doesn't tell him. Like, yo, this is kind of jacked up. I don't think you need to do this. Now, the repercussions of what she does, I don't think we see what happens to the daughter in the rest of this season or the next season. Now, what we're dealing with next season and the rest of this season, there's not really a lot of time to see what we don't have a lot of time to deal with baby stuff. There's some big stuff going on, especially next season. But still, I want to see what happens here because this could like give her powers regardless of a metagene or not, or it could add on top of a metagene, or it could like do something bad. We don't know. We don't know just yet. Bumblebee in the comics. Does he have a kid and does he do this kind of thing? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just really know Bumblebee from like this show and Teen Titans. Aside from that, I just seen like random panels from the comics. I haven't really seen too much. I haven't really seen too. Actually, let me say that again. I kind of went away kind of quickly, but yeah, I haven't really seen too much of like what she does in the comics. But yeah, that was at least in my opinion. I think that's a little jacked up. I mean, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? And at least he should have told Mal. Now once he's done, she brings out like this tube or something, but she doesn't open it. I don't know what it's supposed to be. So after that happened, we go back over to Aqualad and Black Lightning and Nightwing both rush Aqualad and his boy. Now they're able to disarm them pretty quickly, and Granny Goodness gets really mad. She goes, "What? There's no way you're getting beat that easily. Uncle Lad's like, well, we're Atlanteans. They can't beat our Atlantean strength because they got him in a chokehold and they can't move. Black Lightning does try to like, spark up and go crazy on Uncle Lad, but he can absorb it because yeah, he done that before. He can absorb it. So she gets really mad. She goes, look, either I'm taking you guys down or the mother box. And we see this contraption like a basically like a laser gun. We see the laser gun pop out of nowhere in the walls, and it starts to shoot a laser right on top of the mother box, and the mother box is constantly pinging and it's yelling. Well, not yelling, but it's like constantly pinging and making noises because it's getting hurt, it's getting destroyed. And we go over to Cyborg. Now Cyborg goes on his phone. Hey, have you guys heard of the Affinitiers? I don't think that we don't really see those things until next season, right? I could have sworn we don't see them until next season. But when he says this, he looks up. He goes, "Do you feel that?" Violet goes, "Yeah, I feel that too." Cyborg does like this, and he makes a boom tube. Brion and Beast Boy both say, "What? Vic can boom tube?" And so they all run through the boom tube. When they run through the boom tube, they pop up in Granny Goodness' house. Cyborg takes out the laser gun. Halo heals. Yeah, Halo heals the mother box. Then she cleanses Nightwing and Black Lightning, so they're not mind controlled anymore. Everybody's really confused with what's going on. Beast Boy goes, "It was Granny. Granny did all this." She goes, "You know what, Beast Boy or Garfield? It's been long overdue since you need some discipline. I'm putting all of you in the box." Now, when she says this, we see something bust through the ceiling. We see something bust through the ceiling and then blow up and it knocks out Granny. That was so funny. I completely forget that happened. That was so funny to me. She was like, "I'm putting all of you in the boom," and then she just flayed out on the floors. After that happens, you see the Batwing, or what's Batman's jet called? The Batwing, right? We see the Batwing flying in the sky. Black Lightning can just barely see it. He's like, "What is that?" And then Cyborg opens up a little boom tube and yells at everybody to go inside. While they're running inside, Granny Goodness wakes back up and she starts yelling and spazzing, saying, That's right, you better run. You run away. I hope for both our sakes that you finally learn your lesson." And then there's a little blue box that's on the ground. She picks it up, and that little robot I showed you from before, well, it looked like a really big robot, but it's actually a tiny little robot inside a box. And then she goes, there, everything's gonna be okay. We go back over to the hospital, and we see the baby, and it's okie dokie. Oh yeah, actually I forgot the name of the baby. So I think Mal says it right here. So let me pause it to see the name of the baby. Okay, I'm back. The baby's name is Araya. The middle name I forget, but it's Araya. That's a unique name. But yeah, we cut over to Bumblebee saying the exact same thing that Granny Goodness was saying. Everything's gonna be all right. I do like how she shrunk herself down to just to hold the hand like that. Anyway, she makes herself big again, lays down on a regular bed. Duncan gives the baby over to her. The nurse leaves, saying this was the weirdest birth ever, giving them some alone time. And he like I said before, he asked her, "Hey, you were inside of there for a long time. What were you doing?" She goes, "I was doing the right thing for our daughter. I was doing the right thing." I don't know. And part of me was thinking, well, I say this before. I forget if I said this, but she was saying like, "I'm gonna give you an edge," and I was like, "What does that mean? Give her an edge? Like, what if she wants to do hero work when she's older? To do hero work? Neither you or Mal have powers, and y'all do hero work, and you will literally wear a suit to get big and small. She can easily do that without powers and stuff. And you got people like Artemis, Nightwing, Batman. Yeah, obviously, I'm not saying she can be like Batman, but you get what I'm saying. Like, people can become like Batman and do really good hero work on the Justice League, Green Arrow. But no, I guess he doesn't want that. Anyway, they all like lay down next to the baby because they're just happy. We go over to Nightwing and Black Lightning in the medical wing. Now, Black Lightning seems pretty much okie dokie. He's holding his head, but he seems alright. But Nightwing, there's something wrong with him. He's constantly screaming and yelling. He's like twitching all over the place. There's something going on with your boy. Then we pan over to Uncle Lad, and his boy says that, "Hey, I'm pretty sure your surface little friends are gonna be okay. I just can't get used to life up here, but everything should be fine because I'm with you." We go over to Brion, and he forgives. I'm not saying he shouldn't forgive Halo. I'm not saying that because obviously Gabrielle did that. Halo somebody else. I would just say this would take some time. Now I think it's been like a week or two since he told him. I don't know if that's enough time, but still, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's good that he forgave her. I just thought this would take a little bit more time because I understand that two different people, but still. But yeah, he forgives her and they hug. After that happens, Dr. Chase starts to text her mentor saying that there's some complications. I need to get my kids out of here. The camera pans over to a phone texting arrangements are made. Be ready, I will contact you soon. The camera pans out from the phone and it's the gorilla. The gorilla that be working with the brain. It's that gorilla. I'm like, what? Is that? I mean, yo, like I said, we're gonna get to Dr. Chase soon. There's that one episode when we like, we're gonna find out about Dr. Chase. We're gonna find out about Dr. Chase in the episode or two. It gets crazy. But at the end of the episode, we just see the baby sleeping in the little box that they put the babies in. But there's actually another after credit scene besides from this one. We see a holographic form of Darkseid and Granny Goodness talking to it, and she says, "My lord, I have found it, the anti-life equation." Ooh, you know how bad that Joker is. Well, Darkseid and the anti-life equation. But that's the episode for you guys today. So, like, share, and subscribe. Oh, I'm so stupid. I clicked out the episode. I'm supposed to show a. I'm so stupid. Okay, now I'm done. Sorry about that. I clicked out the episode. I'm so stupid. I forgot to do this now. Like, I show a scene at the end. Okay, bye.